I'm not going to keep arguing with people I don't even fool with in real life. So at some point, Carlos going to have a meeting, like you said, and figure out how to move forward. Because my family, yeah, we can give y'all that. We can give y'all the real family ups and downs and all that. We can do that. But to keep arguing with other couples for ratings and all, I'm not doing it.
Right.
This is Sanya on Air.
When I was coming up, we had to go outside the city. We had to go travel, go out of town, beat down doors.
Like, this was the first time Bill has ever gone on the set. And he said, "Here comes the token dirt boy." And out of my mouth, I said, "F you."
Fans are asking for a positive women and, with family and business. It's like, that's what we bring to the show. And yet still it's like, oh, she's boring.
It's my real story. This is really who I am. I build myself off a dollar and a dream without a man's help, without a basketball player.
Particularly the patriarchal boxes that white cisgender males have defined for us should be how we define ourselves.
That's what they were saying on the street. I didn't say it. That's what they were saying on the streets. The streets, the avenues, and the boulevard.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now tuned into another amazing edition of Sanya on Air, where I unpack celebrity pivotal moments and their milestones. I'm your host, Sanya Hudson-Payne, and today I have an exciting show for you. Now, who isn't tuned into reality television each and every single day? It seems like reality television is taking over scripted television. Now, if you're tuned into reality television like I am, that's my guilty pleasure. What about you? Is that your guilty pleasure too? I watch the most ratchet television, and then we'll turn to a documentary right after. Now, today's guest, he is part of OWN Television's Love and Marriage DC. Now, if you've been watching this spin-off show, remember the first of the Love and Marriage franchise was Love and Marriage Huntsville. So now we have Love and Marriage DC. And we're so used to the women leading the narratives on these reality shows, but now the husbands, they're finding their voices and they're taking over. So I have Jamie Tyler III. Now, you may know him and his wife because they are super fabulous, super amazing. His wife is Irena Tyler. Dressed to the nines, dressed to the gods, both of them. I really look at them like this dynamic power couple. Not only is he a part of reality television, but during his first season, he was a detective who was soon to retire. Now, he stepped fully into the retirement zone. But, just imagine being a detective trying to arrest someone, and they're like, wait a minute, didn't I see you on OWN Network last night arguing with your wife, arguing with your other cast members? So we're going to find out about his firsts. How did he get on reality television? I really want you to get to understand all of these people behind the television camera, because you just see what they want you to see. But I'm going to ask him a few questions like, when was the first time you lost your virginity? Those are the type of questions I want to know. So make sure that you stay tuned in. But before I bring Jamie onto this edition of Sanya on Air, I have a few things that I want to talk about. Now, there's this conversation that is becoming a resounding conversation on television, across streaming platforms, and in real life. Black owned versus Black targeted. And I think that people are now starting to understand the difference. You see all of these shows with an all Black cast on some networks that has the word bliggly black in it, but it doesn't mean that it is Black owned. For example, the Oprah Winfrey Network. Okay, it just so happens that I have Jamie Tyler. His show, Love and Marriage DC, is on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Now, when the Oprah Winfrey Network first launched, of course, Oprah Winfrey was the founder. She was a majority shareholder. But then things started happening. She sold a huge portion of the Oprah Winfrey Network to the Discovery Channel. Did you know that? So first, the Discovery Channel, they came in 2017 and they bought just a little bit of portion. Then in 2020, they owned 73% of the OWN network. Now in 2024, they own 95% of the network. So it is no longer Black owned, which makes it Black targeted. Now, let me show you an example of Black owned versus Black targeted. Now, this movie is a remake, and it has been just on everyone's radar for the past, I would say, 2 months, The Color Purple. Now, many people would think that The Color Purple was Black owned because, you know, you have big names such as Oprah Winfrey behind it. So therefore, we showed up and we showed out because of the all Black cast. Spent our money, told the kids, you're not getting any Christmas presents because I got to go see The Color Purple. And guess what? We made billions, maybe millions, maybe billions. I don't know. But we raised a lot of money for that film. But guess what? The owners of that film is not Black owned. So what happens is a lot of these white corporations, a lot of these white organizations, they come in and they know what the Black audience is like because we are the #1 dollar spenders. We watch the most television. So they create content that is geared strictly towards us, but the money goes to them. So we have to be mindful of the messaging. We have to be mindful of who we are giving our hard-earned money to because I ain't got it. Matter of fact, I need to borrow $5. Okay. So once again, Black owned versus Black targeted. Now, talking about reality TV, I don't know if it's becoming entertainment or angertainment. A lot of this reality TV that I see, it is so stereotypical. I'm talking about on the Black side and on the white side too. Very, very stereotypical. But let's just talk about the Black narratives on reality television. Now, going back to the Oprah Winfrey Network, when it was Black owned by Miss Oprah Winfrey, Black owned versus Black targeted. When it was Black owned, let me give you an example of some of the shows that was on the OWN network. Greenleaf, canceled. Queen Sugar, canceled. David Makes Man, canceled. Sweetie Pies, love me some Sweetie Pies, canceled. Beverly's Full House, canceled. Then when all of those Black shows became canceled, we started to see the emergence of these Black targeted shows, i.e. Love and Marriage DC, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Bell Collective, Ready to Love. The content started to change. And then I was looking at, talking to some other business professionals who are in the media space, the television space, and they were saying that there's just some genres, some content that is so difficult to sell because Black audiences aren't watching. So therefore, this is why they're ushering in so many reality shows. Once again, it's turning from entertainment to angertainment. So we have to be careful about what we are watching on television. Now, just talk about other Black shows canceled in 2023. And we're only in 3 weeks into January 2024. Shows already canceled. Issa Rae's Rap-ish. I'm so frustrated and angry about that. That was a awesome show. If you haven't caught up on Rap-ish, make sure that you go to, I forgot, HBO Max. It's on HBO Max. Make sure you catch the first and second season because, darling, like I said, it was canceled. Another show, Grownish, canceled. Everything's Trash, starring Phoebe Robinson, canceled. Legendary, canceled. Kindred, canceled. A Black Lady sketch show, canceled. The Game reboot, canceled. The Wonder Years remake, canceled. We really have to support Black owned and not just Black targeted. There is a huge difference. So please make sure that you add those terms to your vernacular because Black owned versus Black targeted is two different things. We don't want people to create content. To me, it's just like, I can't say this word because YouTube will flag it. And I was about to go on to my Sanya rant. We have to make sure that we are being mindful of the subliminal messaging that programming is instilling into our minds and our psyche, because then you find yourself behaving that way. Now, like I told you at the onset of this conversation, I watch some of the most ratchet shows, but there's a balance. There's a balance. I can't fill my whole TV viewership with a certain type of show, because that kind of speaks to who I am. And once again, the Black experience is not a monolith. It has so many different layers, and I'm just encouraging you all to just tap into it. If you haven't watched a documentary in a few years, put it on your to-do list for the week. We have to start showing these television executives that we are tuned into all types of genre, not just the stereotypical genre that they write for us, and it's not really capturing our experience. So make sure that you are mindful about that. Now, Carlos King, he is producing a lot of shows, a lot of reality shows on the Oprah Winfrey Network. I think he's doing a great job. He's also kind of tapped into the blogging space. We don't want to call him a blogger. Shout out to Dr. Simone from Married to Medicine, a past Sanya on Air guest. But sometimes it just seems as if he has favorites, especially when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville. You can tell that is his baby. And I just want to know, from Jamie Tyler's perspective, is Carlos giving Love and Marriage DC the same amount of love and attention that he's given to Love and Marriage Huntsville and also Bell Collective? So why don't we do this? Let's take a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back with Sanya on Air and also Jamie Tyler. Oh, I forgot. Like I said, I've been out of the studio for quite some time. Make sure you subscribe. Sanya on Air streams across just about every major streaming platform. If you're watching this on YouTube, not only subscribe, but make sure you hit the notification bell. That way, every time I upload an all new Sanya on Air celebrity interview unpacking their pivotal moments and their milestones, you'll be the first ones to know. So why don't we do this? Why don't we jump into a quick commercial break from my show's sponsor, Instacart, and do a little shopping during the commercial break, and then come on back with Sanya on Air and Jamie Tyler III. We'll be right back. Shop eligible items on Instacart and get $20 off an order of $35 or more when you check out using your FSA HSA card. You can do this all in 3 simple steps. 1, add your FSA HSA card. 2, shop for eligible items. And 3, check out with FSA HSA using the special code. Now let's get to shopping.
Check, testing.
Yes.
So let me tell you what happened.
What happened?
I had to be in DC today for a ceremony. So I'm flying back out my way to get on my computer. And the Wi-Fi went out.
Oh, it happens. I'm praying for the Wi-Fi gods that it don't interrupt my computer. So you're all good.
Oh, okay, because Xfinity, because they calling me like the Wi-Fi. I said, okay, what you telling me for? I said it's probably Xfinity, and then I got a text saying, sorry, it's an outage in your neighborhood. It should be back by 5 o'clock. I said, oh my God.
Oh wow.
So I called my daughter because she lives near me. I said, you home? She was like, yeah. I said, I need to come, sit in here. She was like, come on, I'm here. But she
That's
got
why I love it. I love it when the children come to the rescue, when Wi-Fi works.
So I'm like, do you got a light? Do you got a stand? She's like, I don't have none of that. I said, all right, fuck it.
We'll make it work. But let me tell you something, Jamie. I'm a fan of you and your wife just representing for Black love on Love and Marriage DC. How did you get introduced to the show?
So we got introduced by Monique Samuels. And I'm supposed to be this way, right?
You're fine.
So Potomac had reached out to Raina as a friend of the show. Well, Monique wanted her on there with her before she left as a friend. And soon as she said she'd do it, she left. So then Carlos called Monique about Love and Marriage and said, I want y'all to, audition. And we did, and they picked us.
Wow. Well, speaking of Monique, I wasn't even going to steer the question towards her, but we definitely miss her on Love and Marriage DC. She transitioned from Potomac, Housewives of Potomac. Do you miss Monique being on the show?
I do miss Monique because Monique was the veteran in that world. We weren't. And when we came in, she had like do's and don'ts, and she kind of broke it down like, we're not doing this to have, to tear each other marriages and attack families, and we all met before the first production meeting, and we all on the same page. And as soon as she left, it went out the window. So now everybody's beefing, as you can probably see. So.
Yes, everybody's beefing, and we're highly anticipating the start of this new season. But even though Monique gave you the do's and the don'ts, is there anything that you and your wife did on the show that you watched and you now regret?
Now that I regret, I just think for us being together 30 plus years, it was a lot of old stuff that she felt like she had to bring back up for drama, because we kind of at peace right now. So it was like, you want me to talk about 15 years ago or 20 years ago, or like what are we talking about? Because I wasn't going back down that road. Some of that stuff was really, really touchy.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to revisit it. So when she did, I think I caught hell for some of my reactions season 1. And I was like, I said, I did this for you. I didn't care about reality TV, obviously. And then you gonna go back down the memory lane on some shit I did when I was like 30 years old. I'm 50 now, about to be 51. And we still talking about that. Well, it's for, they need drama. And then I said, yeah, but I ain't what I signed up for. And
right.
And you saw real reactions from me in them scenes. Like, oh, you playing with me for production? Okay.
Women, we never forget anything. We'll bring up something.
I know. and look, we don't either. So that's why when it come back on, you're gonna see us have another blow up of old shit. And it's the same. That's like,
not again.
You want me to co-sign your thoughts when I had them same thoughts when the shoes was reversed.
Right.
And you was like, oh, you tripping, you doing too much. No, it's the same shit.
So how do you handle that? Let's say, camera's rolling. Arena brings up something that you did not know about. Like, do you just go with the flow, or do you wait until they say cut and you be like, now wait a goddamn minute? Like, what was that all about?
I think I'm a react.
Really?
A raw reaction. Yeah. Even at the reunion season 1, when they followed us walking off set, and I said, I told you, stop playing me. You gonna make me really act up on this reunion. And then they turned out around, oh my God, he's gonna beat her up. So I learned in this world you can't win. Like, you gotta really, really watch what you say.
Yes.
You're under that microscope.
Yes. So how did you take it? Because your life is on display for all of reality television. We see the dynamics of your relationship with your wife and your children. How do you handle some of the backlash that the audience gives you?
See, for me, because I come from that law enforcement background, I'm used to confrontation and responding, but it's in your face. It's not on a computer.
Right.
So I don't do too good on reading trolls or castmates talking. I'm like, I know if I really, really go in, number one, Instagram or Facebook gonna block my account.
Yes.
So I'm learning, talking to my big brother, Albie Shore, who has been an icon for decades. And he talks me out the tree, because I be like, man, I'm about to, he like, nah. And
yeah.
He said, you gotta think, them people are, to keep it 100, like, they here, and
right.
You're here. And if you respond, you just made them relevant or more important than they really are. And it's like, why are you even stressing yourself out responding?
Yes. I just came to that conclusion just last week. I said, I'm not going to waste my time arguing with individuals when I know I would never be in the same room with them. So why am I wasting my time, my energy, my Black excellence on people that I wouldn't even be in the same room with?
And you know what? I could tell you one thing, like, from being on TV now and before TV, I would like comment on like a big page or a celebrity page. And then when you see that celebrity like it or respond, you're like, oh shit, they read my comments. So I feel like now, because the word is Jamie gonna clap back. It's not. It is what it is. And I see him now just trying to get me. Like I read like a big page might post, a video or picture with me. Like I can respond on it's me in the damn post. And then they'll say, watch that bald head evil man respond. And then I see the comment and I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna say that. And I was like, this is crazy. Like it's me. It is. I'm the one they posted. It's the flyer of the show.
Yeah.
And I said fire or can't wait, whatever I said. See, I told you, look, he's so pressed. He's so pressed.
But do you think you've developed like thicker skin since being on the show? Because you have to. You have to, especially living in this space. Have you developed thicker skin?
Yeah, you have to. I was pretty popular prior to reality TV from other stuff I had going on. But like I said, it was more in your face. They wouldn't like talk about me on these apps. You know, if I see them at an event, you know, if somebody had something to say, they'd say it.
Right.
But now it's millions and millions of people who just sitting in their mother basement or wherever, and they can just try to get under your skin until you respond.
Yes.
So the real answer to that is to not read the comments. And I'm a lot better now. But season one, I was on YouTube like this. No, what the? And then I was on Instagram. Then I was on Twitter. Then I was on, you name it. I was reading and I was going crazy because I was like, that ain't even what happened. They trying to act like I tried to like snatch her head in that one scene. I was like, what? Where y'all even come up with this?
Wow. But you know, we keep talking about your wife, Irena, and you mentioned you've been married for, you said 30 years?
So we just hit 28 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh. So when you go through those tough spaces because of the show, how do you navigate around the tough space to get back to the love?
I would say one thing about us is we're battle tested and we've been together 31 years. So all that you gotta think, we talking about 93. It's 2024. So whatever you can imagine we probably went through, or whatever went through, we went through it probably 2 or 3 times. So with TV, our thing is, you know, we're gonna give y'all raw Jamie and Irena, like raw conversation, raw reactions. And I'm the type of guy, if I don't like it, I'm gonna tell you I don't like it. If she don't like it, she gonna tell you. And I feel like as a 28, 30-some year relationship, you can have those conversations and then move on once it's resolved.
Yeah.
I think people who get on these platforms and try not to show, you know, these conversations, they're fake. And I see it on our show, and I'm sitting there like, how can y'all never have a disagreement?
Right.
Or you never tell your wife, nah, you wrong. Like, you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have did that. Like, I'm gonna tell Raina that. She gonna tell me.
You should.
Yeah, I mean, like it's reality TV. Like just cause she did something that the whole audience and the cast, everybody said was messed up, I'm not gonna co-sign it on TV. I'm gonna be like, nah, you shouldn't have said that, or you shouldn't have did that. I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna wait till we get off camera and then say, girl, you know you wrong. Nah, that's fake, man. And that's a lot of that going on. With our cast.
And I think that's why the relationship between you and your wife works on television, is because we see the different nuances, the ups and the downs. My parents were married for 50 years, and I know all too well about the highs and the lows of a long-term relationship. And people need to see those things, because this generation now, you know, they go through something difficult with their mate or partner and they're quickly out the door. But when you are in love with someone, you go through the times, good or the bad, and you work it out. Now, talking about your relationship, I learned somewhere that your first date to your girlfriend then, but your wife now, was at Wendy's. Is that true?
So we weren't even girlfriend, boyfriend back then.
Okay.
That was literally like a sneaky, creepy date. Like we worked together. So it was like, can I take you to lunch? And it was like, we got to find a little spot in that area in Virginia where, you know, you couldn't go where everybody in my was, somebody see us, because she still had a dude. And it was Wendy's. It was definitely Wendy's. It was,
I love it.
It was just in and out. Get in there, get your little food, get on back to the building.
I love it because there's a conversation that's been happening for about a month or two on social media, like about the ideal first date. And they were like, Wendy's was not one of them. And I'm just like, you know, if you really like a person, no matter where you go, it's all about you and that person. So I was glad to see that on the informal or unofficial first date, you took her to Wendy's. Do you remember what she ordered?
I mean, back, you talking about 1993?
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably number one, number two, whatever that was. You know what I mean? It was a burger and fries. That's what we was eating back then.
Let me tell you why I asked that question, because I have a significant other that I also met in 1993. And I remember the clothing that he had on.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. To this day.
I remember that. I know I remember. So I will say this. Raina, the stylish woman you see now, Raina was like that when I met her and prior to me meeting. She was the only girl that I ever seen wearing Versace, Chanel, like as a teenager. Like she was coming to work and all this stuff.
You could tell. You could tell she's always been that girl.
Yeah. She was most stylish all through high school.
You can tell.
Every year.
But talk about high school and the way people show up. I want to talk about the relationship between you and the rest of the cast. I want to talk about, is there a real friendship? Is it just a situationship? Are you frenemies? How is your relationship with the rest of the cast members?
So the only people I really had a relationship with is Quick. And that's because I was doing events. I've been doing events for over 20 years in the DC area and across the US. So, I mean, I was booking Quick in my 30s for DJing my birthdays. If I did stuff in Vegas, I would fly him out to DJ that stuff. So he was like the radio DJ in the DC area. So on a lot of my big stuff, I put him on it. Just the weekly stuff, I had my other little DJs, but his wife, I met at my club. A club, probably 13, 14 years ago. I didn't even know she was that young until TV.
Okay.
So you talking about 13 years ago, she was in her 20s. I didn't even know that. So
wow.
she was in the club and the ladies met. I think they took a picture. I met her. I didn't know her like that. And then you fast forward us to 2022 with a TV show, and you put us in a room together to try to get along. Winter, never seen her in my life prior to TV. Monique and Chris, I think we seen them out and about, but never really friends. Season 1. Sherelle and Black from season 2, we did know them for a few years.
Will they be back, Sherelle and her husband Black?
They're on the second half.
Okay.
They're on that now. Anything after that, I don't know.
Right. Right.
Who else is on the cast?
Joy and Cliff.
So, in talking to Clifton, he was attending my events back in the day. But we probably met. You know, I speak to everybody. Hey, what's up, bro? And he said we met, but I didn't have a relationship with him until Ready to Love, and then when we were picked up, and then we DM'd each other. He was like, "Man, congratulations," and I was telling him congratulations. So that's kind of what kicked us off. And I never met Joy until get ready to film season 2.
So is there any couple on the show that you find it very difficult developing an organic relationship with?
Well, it's only 3. So it's us, Silvers, and the Petties. I would say because of the state we are in today, the Silvers are it's going to be hard because it's a lot that happened since we rapped. A lot of stuff has been said on Twitter, on interviews, you name it. And you know, a lot of this stuff is like I really don't, because I didn't hang with these people. Like, I don't care, but I tried to leave it at the reunion, leave the door open to say, hey, I can do business with y'all because it's business at this point. But all that stuff is over. I can't.
Wow.
Yeah.
So will we see any of that on this new season? Like the disconnect between you and DJ Quicksilver and his wife Ashley?
I think you're gonna see the start of it. And I mean, it started a little bit in the first
Yeah, it
half.
did. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of the back and forth with me and Quick, you know, like I said, from Monique's meeting, my intent was never to throw him under the bus or his family or none of that on confessionals and scenes. But as you see, when you see confessionals, you're like, but damn.
Yeah.
And I kept finding myself saying, damn, like you. And then I'm like listening. I'm like, y'all know that wasn't even really like that. Now you, for TV, now you blowing it up like I got a whole drinking problem. And I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, so when they come back on, after what I saw, I'm a whole different person. My confessionals are nowhere near like they were the first one.
Really?
Nah. And then you know, from when we wrapped filming, I feel like that's when the real rift came because of Twitter stuff.
Right. Oh, wow. Do you think that you'll ever get to a place where the relationships can be mended, or it's too far gone?
I just think, and I don't know what they're going to show at the reunion. I think the reunion, for me, probably nailed the door shut with me, and probably ran into because the reunion is that bad. It's It's like this. In this world, you can have shade. We all understood the shade. Gotta have shade. You can't just be squeaky clean, happy-go-lucky for 12, 13 episodes. It ain't gonna work.
Right.
But when you have back and forth with your cast, it should never go to the point where now I'm trying to destroy you and your integrity and your and that's what started happening, like at the reunion. Like, it was any dirt I had or thought I had, I'm saying it at the reunion. And you know, depending on what they show, that's what happened. And I'm sitting here listening to this stuff, and I'm like, oh, she really, really don't fuck with us.
Wow.
Because none of this would have ever came out my mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So do you think a lot of the disconnect or the disrespect was purposely done because the cameras were rolling?
So that's what I thought. But if you watch her on Twitter and on Instagram, she the realest thing on TV, and everything she said, that's her. So she's saying that's who she is, and I believe her. Like, literally, it's a real pivotal scene. You're gonna see probably maybe third or fourth episode, and she goes off on a castmate. And I'm sitting there like, oh, this gotta be for TV. This can't be really, because it wasn't that serious. But it escalated so bad that that's the pivotal point of the whole second half, where all the relationships did like that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm like, even when I talked to the husband, I was like, I said, bro, that was a TV. I thought that was a TV moment. Because other than that, it was no way that would have happened. Like, no way she's getting in my face like that.
Wow. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all, because I think it was the end of the first season or the second season, and we started to notice Ashley kind of changing, you know, getting a little bit more battery in her back.
Yeah.
And it just seemed as if her personality was changing just because of television.
Yes.
So I'm not surprised to see if her personality is now on level 20 when this new season.
It's on 50 when it come back. And if you just look at Twitter and Instagram, you can see she like doubling down on, I'm the bad guy and I'm with it.
Wow.
And that's where I said, like, I go back to Monique's statement, like, we had a whole dinner. Like, don't let this show make us where we are today. And we all was in agreement. And now we're literally like, don't fuck with each other at all.
Oh, wow.
And it gets worse every day because the social media shit. Like, it ain't even, you know how the cast live tweet when the show on and they get back, they go back and forth. Like, that's what it started with that. Now we was doing that, but it was all in boosting the show or whatever. But then she, her little crew, they sitting there clapping back at me or Raina. And I'm like, tell your people to chill. Like this what we supposed to do. We supposed to talk shit to each other.
Right.
But they can't keep talking shit to me because I'm gonna respond to them. And I think that's what set me and her apart, because I responded to somebody who just kept at me. And they just enable their shit. Like everything they do it was nothing wrong with. I'm like, the whole thing with him calling my son bad in that scene.
Yeah.
He should, like the whole internet said, bro, don't talk about these people kids. You don't even know.
Yeah. And
then when I said something on Twitter about it, the little girl got at me, like, quit this and quit that. I'm like, Shawty, he wrong. Like, we're not gonna keep going back and forth. Nobody's gonna say that was right but y'all. The team y'all is gonna say, well, he meant it this way or that. I'm like, and that's gonna come back up. When it come back on, you're gonna see how that played out.
Wow.
And again, no accountability. No.
Yeah. So I know this is a spinoff from like Love and Marriage, Huntsville. And I know on that show, the ensemble cast started to have some sort of turmoil and Carlos King had to step in. Has there been a time that Carlos King had to step in with your cast and say, okay, what the F is happening here? We need to get back on track. So how is he supporting all of this?
I think that's coming. I think that's soon.
Really?
I think because, I mean, even when I got into it with Winter season 1, that got ugly behind the scenes too, because her team, Snowflake fans, started talking to me on social media, and they were Googling my house and posting pictures of my house. Somebody don't make me pull up. Like, really, yeah. I was like, man, let me explain something to you, bro. I was a police in DC for 25 years. If you come near this house faking, I promise you won't leave. You won't leave. Like, I'm okay. And so what I did, I just documented it with the local police just to let them know I was threatened. They did share my house. And I hit Carlos. I said, hey, her fan club is talking shit to me and threatening me. I'm telling you, I ain't that guy. It's gonna go left real quick. And he was like, he kind of was like, let me try to calm it down, whatever. So that kind of blew over as time went on. But yeah, he probably gonna have to do it because I know me. I'm a Taurus, and one thing I don't play with is don't lie on me.
Right.
I could get myself in trouble. Trust me. don't make up shit on me for TV, and then it's so wrong. Then you like, oh well, somebody told me that. That's why I was so mad at Winter. I was like, Winter, whoever sent you that is a fake page, and I tell them send it to Raina.
Right.
You don't even know us. Mind your business. Like, you try and stop shit to stay on the show. And it was so obvious. Like, it worked. She's still here, but it was like we would never seen you in our life. So anybody sending you shit clearly is not a fan of men right now.
Right.
They're like, here. And you just ran with it for TV. Oh, look what I got. I'm like, shawty.
Yeah, this whole social media space has turned everyone into a thug. I don't like it at all. At all. Because I'm like, once I present you with an opportunity, I really see how much of a thug you are not.
I think I moved on with Winter because we kept ending up in the same room. And I knew we were going to do another season back then. So I went over to her and I said, look, I'm a make peace with you right now because I know we got to exist. You ain't going nowhere, neither am I. I said, but I'm going to just tell you this. Leave my marriage alone. Like, that was your angle to get on the show. Cool. You made it. Congratulations. But moving forward, leave my house alone, for real.
Got it.
And we kind of like came to agreement, like, all right, cool. And you can get your own storyline. You on the show. Now you gotta do your thing now. I got 5 storylines. And you want to add Mama T, that's another one. So we got plenty of shit to talk about in my house. We don't need you starting shit.
I hear that. But, I mentioned Love and Marriage Huntsville a few times, and that show is really, really just taken off. What do you think Love and Marriage DC needs to do in order to surpass the ratings of Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Well, I think Huntsville really blasted off with the Martell scandal.
Yeah.
I was, in this world we live in, that's what they want. They want
yes,
and infidelity and you name it. Love and Marriage DC. Me personally, and I can speak for me and Raina. I was a highly decorated law enforcement way before TV. So TV was never in my mind to be on reality TV one day. So my integrity for that and who I am, I was off them cameras, I would never sell that out for TV. So it's just there's so much I'm gonna do. And I'm not gonna keep arguing with people I don't even fool with in real life. So at some point, Carlos gonna have to have a meeting, like you said, and figure out how to move forward because my family, we can get y'all that. We can get y'all the real family ups and downs and all that. We can do that. But to keep arguing with other couples for ratings and all, I'm not doing it.
Right.
I don't have the temper to keep sugarcoating shit. Eventually I'm gonna go all the way left. And the show gonna go all the way left. I mean all the way left.
I get it. I totally get it. But I love the fact that you haven't gone ticky ticky boom yet, because a fan like me, I don't want to see all of the arguing every single week. And I brought up Carlos's name because I'm thinking maybe he isn't giving Love and Marriage DC the same amount of attention that he's been giving to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Would you agree or disagree?
We definitely have our feelings on the marketing behind us, the promotion. Like all this week we're doing press. This is my relationships with all the local news and radio. Nobody from owners reached out and said, hey, press week, I need y'all to do all these interviews. Nobody knows that. But when Huntsville grade come back on, they got commercials, they got dramatic, all this. Like we like, what the But then you talking about ratings.
Yeah.
But y'all don't even put the same effort into it. So
I definitely noticed that.
Yeah,
I noticed that. Yeah. In order to prepare for this conversation, I looked across different social media platforms just to see if you all were doing interviews. And I said, there's not a lot of promotion and marketing and the interviews going behind this. And I see it, I'm a fan of Carlos King and the work that he's curated and produced, but I can definitely tell that he has his favorites. Yeah,
I think, I read Twitter, even that long delay, he caught hell. And only in his defense, I will say it was above him. It was a own thing. Mm-hmm. I hit him direct, like, what is that, man? Because I got stuff I could be doing in retirement, but I don't want to start it and then here come the cameras again. And then I got to be like, well, I can't be there. I can't do this. I can't do that. So I was giving them, a little more time, and then I was going to just shut it off. I was going to be done, and I was going to get back into my, my other stuff I got going on.
Got it. So if you look at all of the other couples on the show, if one couple had to go, which couple would it be?
Oh, Silver's easy.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. I mean, because, and I know we all don't mess with each other right now, but me just watching what I see and what I know in real life is just like, bro, come on, y'all. Like y'all just tiptoeing. Well, she does. To me, she does a lot. She does a lot, like too much actually. Like them conversations with her mother. Like I feel like some of this not for TV. Like, some of this shit is too. And she do it again when it come back on. It's a whole nother scene with them two. And it's just like some of this stuff. Like gotta be a fine line of like that ain't going on TV. Fuck that. I don't care. And she don't do that. But he definitely do. He definitely just wanna cheer for her and get out of the way. And they mess with me, try boss, like he my supervisor or something, and then get out of the way. So that's why I said, yeah, definitely.
I get it. I get it. But on my show, I like to talk about pivotal moments and milestones. And there are so many pivotal moments and milestones that we all have in common. So I want to talk about a few of your firsts. When was the first time that you lost your virginity? How old?
When I first lost mine,
Yes.
shit. If I had to go back that far,
Come on now. You know when you lost your virginity.
I'm gonna say junior high school.
Well, damn, Jamie. Really?
Junior high school. I mean, you talking about 85, 86. It was a different world.
I know, but I was about to graduate high school. I waited a little bit. Okay, Jamie, I waited. Not in high school.
These girls down here was ready to go.
Okay, what was your first job?
Oh wow, my first job back at 14 was it was Pizza Hut. Yeah, I worked at Pizza Hut.
Has there ever been a first time that you were fired?
Pizza Hut.
Why were you fired?
Cause we was stealing pizzas, like typical teenagers. You know how it is. You're like, man, I'm trying to steal some pizzas. Got caught. I've been fired a few times. Like we was young. We was just doing dumb shit.
Okay, so when you started making money, I don't mean like millions or things like that, but what was your very first big purchase?
Oh man, a house. I bought my first house in 1998, and
nice.
And the thing was, because I was around retired law enforcement when I worked at Drug Enforcement Administration. I met her. You know, I was talking to these guys so much, and the old vet said, man, because I was talking about an apartment. I want an apartment. I said, I want a townhouse or apartment. I'm like 20-some years old. He like, no, buy a house. I said, man, I don't want no house. He was like, nah, man, trust me. He said, you gonna get equity off of it. When you sell it, you're gonna make more money. And I literally bought into it. And then, because we had a little townhouse for a little while. And after that, we bought a house in 98. I was so young and she was so young. The neighbors said, where are your parents? When we went to move in.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, why? And he was like, I want to meet him. I was like, why? He was like, I just want to meet the neighbor. I said, it's us. Yeah.
Right.
Because I think I was 20, 25.
Nice.
She was 24.
Nice. Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
What was your first heartbreak?
I mean, I would say the real one, probably Raina. Because we broke up probably like 95, 94, 95. And she went back to her daughter's father. And that was a rough time. And then ultimately she came back. And then we got married in 96.
Nice. See, love always finds its way back. I want to kind of tap into the entrepreneurial spirit of you before we end this conversation. So you did mention that you are a retired detective, but you also have an entertainment company, J&J Entertainment Company. You're hosting a Love and Marriage DC, I think, launch party this coming Saturday. Is that correct?
Well, it's a watch party for the new episode. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But talk about this entertainment company, because you started this many, many years ago, and to see it still flourishing now, that's amazing. Talk about your entertainment company.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know. I was always the party guy, always, for as long as I can remember. So when I bought a house, my house was the Super Bowl, Tyson fights, Mayweather fights, Redskin Cowboys games, like all the big stuff. It was Jamie's house. And I would always have, I could always get a crowd. If it was intimate for the inside, it'd be like 40 people or so. But if I did it in the backyard, it could be 100. And so back in those days, I was doing events with like a few police officers. And we were doing pool parties, cabarets, stuff like that in the early 2000s. And then I just noticed that it was like falling off and it wasn't really serious no more. So I kind of went my separate ways. and how my partner JD, how we linked up. He was throwing house parties at his house, but we grew up together playing against each other in sports as kids. So I went to a couple of his house parties. I was like, dang, he got a cool little crowd. You know, for his to be at a house, it'd be like 50, 60 people over there. Good luck. So I went, so 08, I saw a venue in DC that was wide open. And I said, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna call him because I feel like he had a nice crowd. And sure enough, 09, we started off these happy hours on Friday nights. And because he's a PhD in computer science, I was in law enforcement. We had a real professional network with this IT world, and then I had lawyers and law enforcement and government workers, stuff like that. So we just spun it as a little happy hour for our high schools, like a reunion. And the first one we did is like 300 some people came. So the owner was like, let's do it again next week. So we did it again next week, and another 300 came. Then let's do it again. So we ran off like 7 of those real early. Then, of course, started stealing. Oh, the numbers were down tonight. Just lying. And I said, we got to move. Because we got a thing now. I could take it to another venue.
Right.
Fast forward to probably like spring of 09, we went to another venue in DC where we could have a DJ now. And it was 2 levels. It was food. And that was just the birth of J&J. It was like J&J, Ocean Drive Fridays. And it was a thing. It was like every week packed, trying to get in there.
Nice.
And then from there, we started doing concerts. We started with the day party movement down here. Because I'm born in May, I would always do my birthday in Vegas when Mayweather fought. So we started taking my birthdays to Vegas for like 7, 8 years. We'd take 800-900 people to Vegas. It was crazy.
Nice. But I hear you're also planning a trip. You're hosting and planning a trip to Ghana, and you're inviting people to travel with you. I think that that's amazing. Talk about that, and where can my audience go to purchase tickets and travel with you to Ghana?
Yeah, so being on this platform, we were contacted by a tourism company to do a partnership and get some people from over here over to the motherland. So my management, along with their team, we had a Zoom and went over all the logistics of it, and it seemed like a good fit. So we partnered up with them, and it'll be the end of August of this year. It's a 9-day trip. They have a whole itinerary starting from when you land till we get back on the plane. And I do have a link. I can send you the link. And with that link, it does have the breakdown of the flight, the hotel options, the contact information for the tourism group, and they can basically walk them through the whole process of deposits, or if you just want to pay your trip.
Yeah, it seemed, pretty affordable. I looked at something, and I think the base price was $2,000 and something dollars. And you said the trip is for 9 days?
Yeah.
And I'm going to like a Caribbean island for about 4 days, and it's more than that. And I said, okay, this trip to Ghana is a great price. So yes, please share that link with me, because I definitely want to share it with my audience. I think that that's amazing. Now, the final question, with Love and Marriage DC about to launch its new season, why should everyone be tuned in and watching?
Oh man, because your favorites, the Tylers, are coming back to your screen. Of course, you got more of Rain and I just navigating this life of being the OGs on the show. Lil Jamie has some updates on what he's up to. It was some scenes filmed with Jason and his updates, but I didn't see him in what we already saw. So I was kind of hoping that we could see that, because he was actually in school during most of that whole film. Brittany's back in some scenes. Mama T's back, and I think for me, it showed a lot of, like, the people that probably misunderstood me season 1. I feel like it opens up a little more into me. I do some more counseling, and I also have a retirement party with a VIP guest that's going to blow everybody's mind. So I'm excited about my family and what we share.
Nice, nice. Well, Jamie, thank you so much for this conversation. I just need you to do me a favor. Please tell your beautiful wife that I said hello, and I am definitely a fan of her and you on the show. And keep on with the Black love. People like me, we applaud you, we pray for you, and I wish you and your wife and your entire family continued success.
And you are so appreciated, and we appreciate you. I appreciate you having me on. You gotta get her on next.
Yes, I would love to. So we'll link up to coordinate that.
Yes, absolutely. And if anybody's in the DMV area, Saturday night, we're doing a watch party at Silver Spring, Maryland, at Citizens and Culture. It's going to start at 6, but we're going to watch the show at 8, and then have a little after party from 9 to 10. And then we're taking the party to the Air Lounge for a second after party where we can meet and greet the fans, take pictures.
Yeah, I love it. I was talking to my daughter when I saw about the event, and I'm trying to link up with one of my friends who lives in the DMV area to come to the party. So I'll definitely let you know if I'll be in the building.
Okay, yeah, if you do it, definitely. If you want to chop it up a little bit, if you want to get some content, that's fine.
Okay. Well, I'll be in touch. Thank you so much, Jamie. You take care.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll send you that link as well.
Please do. Bye-bye.
All right.
There you have it. Jamie Tyler of Love and Marriage DC. Love the conversation. Let me tell you why. Because reality TV is often led, like I said, by the female cast. Just chatting it up. Sometimes the petty labels of it all. But the men who are joining the cast, they're like, we're on this show with our wives. We're nowhere near being a silent partner. We're in this together. And I'm finding that the male voice on reality television is just increasing and increasing. When we talk about reality shows, remember what was it called? Real Housewives of Atlanta. And one of the husbands kept speaking up. I think it was Peter Thomas kept speaking up. And they referred to him as a JJ. A few male reality personalities, once they start speaking up, the women are looking at them like, shut up, be quiet. But the men are saying, no, we have an opinion. We're on here with our wives. You're not going to slander our wives. You're not going to slander our relationships. I have something to say. So I love to say, and Jamie was right. He did go through some challenges and obstacles from the audience because of his presence on Love and Marriage DC. When he got into it with his wife, the audience didn't like that. When he got into it with his own son, you didn't like that either. My daughter always asks me, Mom, do you think that you could do reality television? And I would say 1 second I'm saying yes, and then 5 seconds later I'm saying no, because you all don't allow people to be their organic selves. It's called reality television, to the point where it is becoming such a visceral reaction for such of the audiences that a lot of this reality television, oftentimes it becomes scripted, just so that it becomes a little bit more digestible for you all. So, and then we talked about Carlos King. If you are a fan of the reality TV shows on the Oprah Winfrey Network, you know that Carlos King of Kingdom Reign Entertainment, he is the curator of a lot of these shows. And you can definitely tell that there are some favorites. Love you, Carlos, but it's the truth. You can tell. Matter of fact, Love and Marriage Huntsville, he just launched a tour with Melody Cherie. How do you now employ someone, but now your partners? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And then also, just to prepare for this conversation, I was looking to see how was the cast of Love and Marriage DC promoting and marketing. Were they going on interviews? And I saw nothing at all. Carlos, come on, spread the love to the people that you employ, the people that bring your vision to life. Show them some love. So I don't know. But once again, this has been another amazing conversation from Sanya on Air. The term that I gave you at the onset of this show, I want you to remember it: Black owned versus Black targeted. Black targeted, to me, it's like it is allowed to develop organically. It isn't really given any type of structure or boundaries. The messaging may be a little bit blurred. Like, was this a good message? Did they just call me? It's just too much back and forth. And we need shows. We need shows that are entertaining, or like I say, entertainment. We need those, but I also want to see the balance too. So I'm going to implore you, Jamie, Tyler, and your wife, Irena, don't change. Don't change. We want to see the ups and downs of the marriages, because for one, people go into relationships, especially this new generation. You get into one argument and it's over, and they dating the best friend, and then writing a song about it on social media. I don't find that people are willing to go through the ups and downs of relationships to really find out what works. I think love is really about, child, who are you willing to suffer the most for? I don't know. Not saying that you should be in something trauma filled, but stick with it. Don't give up so easily. And another thing that I want you to stick with is Sanya on Air. Make sure that you are tuned in every single week for all new celebrity conversations, unpacking their pivotal moments and milestones. So I'm about to end this conversation, but if you haven't subscribed in this entire episode, which is approaching about an hour, make sure you subscribe now. Make sure you subscribe. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit the notification button, and make sure that you do all of your shopping using my special Sanya on Air Instacart link. Well, I'm done. Take care, dolls. Smooches. Mwah.